Okay, in this lesson we're going to be looking at the 2-measure groove grid. Over this entire module we've just been concentrating on one thing, with playing grooves over 1 measure constructed on 1 note, which in our case has been E, open E. Well, not just open E, you can use any E's you want, okay? But make sure you're keeping rhythm in mind. I don't want you getting bogged down with chord tones, arpeggios and scales yet. That's coming. So we want to expand a little bit. Obviously some grooves aren't just built over 1 measure, and they can be over 2 measures or 4 measures, but we're looking at the 2-measure groove grid today, okay? And all I've done is split it up into downbeats, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the upbeats, okay? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I've put this lovely red line to signify where the next bar starts. It's obviously a little bit squashed up because of my limited art skills, but it's worth, even though it's squashed up here, it's worth the same amount of time as down here, okay? So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And for this lesson, I really just wanted to show you a great groove that fits perfectly on this grid, okay? So, check this out. You'll have all heard this tune before, unless you've been living in a cave. Great track. Here we go. Okay, so it's Good Times, obviously by Chic. And if you listen carefully to the bass line, it's, there's a few little fills here and there, but generally you can write the entire thing out on this grid, and it is 1, 2, 3, and then there's a rest. 1, 2, 3, da 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 da. Okay, so when it comes over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you were to write that bass line out on this grid, it would look very similar to that. So just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it simply sounds like this. Now, there is some little notes that would fit over a 16th note groove grid as well, but I'm going to come to those in a minute. All I want you to understand is the general idea behind this bass line is based on these 2 rhythms. And again, it's just a repeated rhythm. And now you'll hear that, and there is some 16ths in there, but I don't want you to get bogged down with them. I want you to understand that this bass line is essentially based on this rhythmical grid, okay, and this particular rhythm that I've written out here. And if we take this track, I want you to listen to the guitar as well. Just listen to what the guitar's doing. You'll find that it is a repeated rhythm. Okay, so the drums are obviously playing a repeated rhythm, the bass is playing a repeated rhythm, the guitar's playing a repeated rhythm. Let's just see what the piano's doing. Repeated rhythm. vocal lines doing. So the vocal lines are repeated rhythm. So the entire tune is made up of repeated rhythms. So as I've been saying throughout this entire module, repeated rhythms is so important, not only with bass lines, but also with composition as well. Next time you're in a band, everybody needs to have their part. You need to have a specific bass part. You know, the drummer, obviously, people, you know, they expect drummers to have a specific part. You know, but when you're creating your bass lines as well, make sure that there's repeated rhythms in there. Even if it's, you know, a little bit, pushing it a little bit. I've still got this. That's kind of the underlying repeating phrase throughout everything I played. And that's what made it groove. If it was just random ambiguousness, that word, if it was just ambiguous in what I was playing, it wouldn't really groove that much. It needs that repeated element of it, that repeated phrasing to make it really groove. So obviously when you're in your bands and you know you're composing bass lines or coming up with bass lines for your bands, make sure that there's a repeated element in it. Make sure that the keyboard players and the guitar players and whoever else is playing with you has a part. You know, it's a real bad habit of, you know, guitar players, bass players, to kind of wing it a little bit and not have a part. You know, not a guitar player should have a specific part. Nile Rodgers is an amazing example of this. And you know, wow, you know, how many great tunes has he written? Go listen to all the Nile Rodgers hits. You'll find that they're all created using really simple repeated rhythms and then layering them in a process where they all lock together and give this amazing full picture. So this is the 2-bar groove grid. Now I want you to go and create some cool bass lines using the drum tracks that you've got with this course, and also look out for other grooves using this groove grid. You'll be able to plug pretty much any groove you can think of into a grid like this. You know, just, you know, I could give you a ton of examples, but I want you to go and find out for yourself. So hopefully you've enjoyed this module. In the next module, we're actually going to put our basses down for a lot of it and work on internalizing our own rhythm and time. I'm going to be giving you tapping and clapping exercises. You're going to be doing a whole load of things you've never done before. And the reason why it's really important that you do this is because not only do I like to separate rhythm, like, you know, creating bass lines, rhythm and harmony, I also like to separate working on your time feel and playing bass. I like to separate it. And the reason I like to do that is because I've had and I'm going to tell you about it in module 2, I've had some really great experiences in the past, something that I fell upon by complete accident, working with the percussion group, and it gave me the chance to put my bass down and work on rhythmical patterns. And what I found is that it had a tremendous effect on my bass playing, and still has a tremendous effect today. It's one of the things that I've worked on in my past that really did move the needle for my groove and for my bass playing. So we're going to talk all about that in module 2. So again, hopefully you've enjoyed this module, and I'll see you in module 2.